Hello, my beautiful crafty friends. It's Laurette, your vintage paper girl. Welcome to my studio. This is the place I like to have fun, to play, to create, and to share all of my projects with you. And I want to welcome each and every one of you, especially all of my lovely friends and all my new folks. Welcome, welcome. So, today we're going to have a little play with napkins and vellum and tracing paper, and we're going to make some clutch envelopes or clutch bags or whatever you want to call them, ephemera clutches. We're going to make those today, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So before we get going, how is everybody? Are you all good? I hope so. I hope you're all doing really well. So I hope everybody's good. Anyway, let's get busy. I want to get right to it because I have a lot to do here. I promised you a fun project today, so happy Friday. Hopefully this is on Friday. And first thing we're going to do is I pre-cut some napkins because it just takes a while and I didn't want to take up valuable play space. So I pre-cut them, and what I did is I cut the napkins down to fit the vellum that I have here. And I did not peel off the extra labels yet because I wanted to make sure, well, it's easier to cut them when they have all their layers. We're going to be stitching them too, so hang on for that. Don't run away if you think, I've already seen this. Well, you have, I'm sure. Lots of people, do these, but I haven't done any in a while. I want them for my stash. I want to use them this year. I want to get them in my shop, so I'll probably make ephemera to match and, do some little sets for sale this year. So I thought I would, for those of you who've never seen this before, now most napkins are 2 to 3 ply, depending upon the company and who makes them. So like some of them are like super easy to get apart. Like, if you just see this one, it's coming apart pretty easy. So we want to peel off at least 3, all the extra layers except for the top one. And you hit the top when it becomes very sheer. Now, I think this might only be a 2-ply, but we will see. And the trick I learned from Gail Augustinelli was to take a, see, there's another layer, a piece of tape, and use it to peel your final layer. Now, this is on here super good, and I'm really going to have to be careful because if I rip that front, then I'm out of luck, right? So I purposely didn't peel them all beforehand because I wanted to see, look at that, even has a little bit of printing on it. Now I save all of this to play with. You can stamp on it. You can still use it to make other things the same as the first ply. You end up with a white ply. So I'm going to see how sheer it becomes. Look at, I don't know if you could see. You could see through it pretty good. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to separate this one. Sometimes it is better to just use the tape trick right off the bat, and you end up with all your layers off at once. I have to concentrate for just a split. There we go. There's one layer. Looks like there's 3 here. Yep, I see the other one. Sometimes I just roll it between my fingers and it comes off real easy. You can find it easy. It's just I don't have really long nails yet, so don't have a whole lot to grab with. Sometimes when they print them, it'll go through the other layers, so you'll get a little bit of color there. So if you want to use those for backgrounds and things. Okay, so this is vellum that I have right here. It's printable vellum, which I kind of hate to waste it on anything else, but, like this one here, all the layers just came off. These 2 are still here together. That one came off super easy. I don't think there's another, no, there is not. Okay, so that one, and this one is going to be another one that it was barely holding together when I was cutting it apart. So I was like, oh, that should be easy. Yep, there's all the extra layers. 2 of those came off nice and easy. Now, this layer, this is tissue paper. I mean, this is tracing paper here. So I wanted to see what it would be like on tracing paper. It's much thinner than my vellum. My vellum's very heavy. I don't know what I got on my chapstick, but it's stuck on my tongue. And then this is tissue paper. This is not a napkin. So I wanted to try that on some of the tracing paper. And then this is just an extra piece of vellum if we need it. I wanted to show you, it's pretty heavy duty. I just get it on Amazon, and they don't say anything on the packet. I just put printable vellum. It popped up. And I don't think, now my gold dot vellum, oh, let me see what's on here. If I have a package for the plane. No, I don't. It comes in a cardboard sleeve. And then there's some numbers on it, but I don't have that with me. That's in my other room. So anyway, you can find it on Amazon. Now, I'm going to definitely want to use a glue sheet here. One of my glue boards that I like to use, glue mats, and I just get these at the Dollar Tree. So you could decoupage this. I'm not a decoupage girl. Oh, you guys, I can finally show you this, I think, because I still have some decent light. But this is my new, it's a pink blush. It's a blush diamond. The little baguettes. Isn't that pretty? That was my gift from my hubby for Christmas. He did good. There, I'm going to fix my light in here because it was bright and sunny. We're getting ready for rain for several days. I am filming on Tuesday because I have a busy week. I need to get the house put back together from Christmas, so got to get all that put away. Oh, I'm caught in my sewing machine. Hold on. Okay, oh, there we are. Because I have it at my feet so we can put it up and do something with it. I don't think I'll start with the tissue. I'm a little nervous. I haven't done this in a while. I used to do it all the time. I mean, I know it works because I did it all the time, but I haven't done any in a really long time. So I highly recommend that you put it onto the surface, not onto your napkin. It will rip your napkin all over the place. You're going to want a piece of plastic or vellum. I'm not plastic, like acetate or plastic too. So I'm just grabbing a little bag and I'll show you why. Okay. So I've seen lots and lots of ladies do this years ago, and I've done a lot and sold them already in my shop. So this is not something new to me at all. So what I want to do is I want to get glue on here, and there's a really sort of shiny side and then a side that's sort of matty. I'm going to put it on the matte side. I think it's going to be easier. So you want to put your glue on your vellum or your tissue paper or paper of any kind that you're working with, not on your napkin, and otherwise it's going to rip all over the place. So don't even try it. It's not worth it. Even if you're Mod Podging. Now I do have Mod Podge, and depending upon if this doesn't come out as good as I'd like, I may try some, but probably not on camera. So, excuse me, I'm a little out of breath. I'm going to get some water. I'm still fighting with COVID, as you know. So, I mean, it's gone, but it's the, oh gosh, it's the, sorry, that rolled on me. It's the aftermath of it, the cold part, the sinuses, I pulled out a different mat that's not full of glue right now. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated because this thing rolled on me. It doesn't usually. That's the weird part. Come on now. I'm never going to get this on here if it rolls on me. Now, what they recommend is that you use, like, put your plastic bag on top to smooth it down so that you are not damaging your napkin. And then I'm gonna it is sticky business, I'm going to tell you, because we're using glue stick. But as the glue stick dries, now I can touch this because if I was using Mod Podge, I could not. Now you could do it this way to put it on and then go over it and seal it with Mod Podge, and I might do that. I don't know yet. So let's go let that dry. But you see this creative, Scotch Create is super great for decoupaging napkins. I'm sorry, you guys. I seem to be at a loss for words today. Finally been sleeping again a little bit, not a lot, so I'm still pretty tired, but I think it makes it hard on your brain and your tongue to talk to each other. They're apparently not speaking the same language today. Probably doesn't look like I'm getting enough on there, but I'm really trying to make sure that I do. I'm going to set this onto the counter behind me to dry. It's got a lot of bubbles in it. Ah, now see, this one's doing it again. I turned around and boom, stop it. Oh, come on now. Why are you being so naughty? I have never had this problem before, ever. And this isn't my first time doing it. So it's like, I don't get it. What is happening? I wonder if they changed the formula for the glue stick, put more water in it. Because usually Scotch Create doesn't have water in it. So it usually doesn't behave badly. If you put this plastic down, or acetate, or whatever you've got, binder pockets, or down when you're doing this, what happens is you keep it from ripping, and you can use like a tougher card on it to try to get rid of some of the air bubbles, but you're not going to get rid of all of them, and they're not going to be perfect. When this dries, it has a really neat feel to it. Now, I can touch this because I didn't Mod Podge. Had I used Mod Podge, I could not, absolutely could not do what I just did. Could not. That would be an absolute no-no. Now, you can go back and use your art glitter glue on the corners after, if you missed something. It's easy to do. I'm going to be cutting this down, so that's why I'm not worried about size or getting to the edges. It's all going to get trimmed. It seems like the lines want to stay, but we're going to be folding this up, and we're going to be adding lace and, you know, bits and pieces, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to let that dry behind me. Oh, I have to move everything behind me. My goodness. I have a pile. There's a pile up. I still haven't got my studio clean so that I can do a studio tour. I still need to clean my studio. So, let's see. Now, this is tracing paper. Let's see how it does. Let's see if it goes roly-roly on me, or if it's going to be good and behave, or if I'm going to have big issues. You know I'm getting enough glue on it when it's rolling, right? Now, this is just some tracing paper I got at the store. I don't know if I got it at Target or Dollar Tree or Michael's, but I've had it for a long time, my tracing paper. I was stocking up on it for a while because I was doing a lot of designing, pattern designing, and I needed to do some tracing. So it was before, you know, big time computers. I don't know how to design on a computer, design sewing patterns. So I was doing it on old school. Now this is tracing paper, so I do have to be careful with it. This is just tissue paper, not napkins. So I'm not sure how it's going to behave on tracing paper. I've never done it before on tracing paper. Oh, I like that. It's neat. I think it's going to dry really cool too. Okay. All right. I think the problem I'm going to have is these are not going to be dry quick enough for me to stitch on this video and show you an envelope. I should have made a sample. Let me make sure this is filming. Yeah. Okay. I might have to make this a short video and do something else and make a part 2. We'll see. Now this is, again, tracing paper, only this time I'm going to put napkin on it. And let's see how we do with that. It didn't seem to roll as badly as the vellum. Isn't that weird? I'm going to like the crunchy feel and sound of this, I know, because I've done it before. I really like to stitch, if I can find it. We could do another kind of envelope while this is drying. Ugh. Okay, go. All right, now this is napkin going on here, and this does not wrinkle up as badly as the other. And it's also, this napkin is not as big as you're going to get wrinkles. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Don't worry about it. It gives you texture. It's okay, right? You could also use, to put on top of this, I would think wax paper would work. You can't see through it as well, but I would think you could. Now, if you have Mod Podge all over this, you absolutely have to use this stuff. So use something slick like that. If you're doing the glue trick, which is the way I like to do it, I'm not a Mod Podge girl at all. I don't care for it. I don't like to collage like that. So, try to find space on my table behind me. Oh my goodness. We have got stuff. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm making room. How was your week, you guys? What are you going to be doing this weekend? Anything fun? I don't think we are. I think our fun is going to be putting our house back together and cleaning up. And maybe, who knows, I'll start on my let's see how wide this is going to go. Aren't these roses beautiful? I just love them. I'm really excited about making envelopes for them. It seems like it went maybe clear to that far. We definitely want to make sure we get enough glue on here. It is hard to do. I would think that the Mod Podge or Collage Podge, whatever you want to use, whatever your favorite glue is for this. You can water down PVA, works too. I believe I've been told that works. I haven't done it, but come on now. Stay. The other one on so easy, and then you get one and it's just like decided it's going to be your problem child. This is my problem child. I don't know what I was saying. I completely forgot. Sorry, guys. Lost my train of thought. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, my voice is still quite a bit deeper with being sick because it was all in the throat. I mean, the whole thing, worst sore throat of your life, cough, the whole bit. So my throat is still not 100% healed yet, and it's very crabby. cranky throat. Doc says it's going to be weeks before I feel good again. It's like, great, thanks. So excited to hear that. I am just going to keep on crafting. I don't care. I'm not letting it stop me. Guys, why do you guys craft? Do you craft for fun? Do you craft for because you just have to because you're a super creative person? Do you craft for therapy? Because you're creative or artsy? You know, why do you guys craft? I'm curious why you do this junk journal thing. Why you do that. Okay, now these are my first ones. I feel like, let me move my mats. I feel like they're drier. They feel pretty dry. Use my hands on them a little bit. You know, my hands are pretty warm right now. Even though it's dark and gloomy out. Keep waiting for rain. We're supposed to have it, and it's supposed to be horrendous and flooding and, you know, all that good stuff. I live on a hilltop area, so everything runs down. The bad part is, though, the homes above us, their water runs into our yard. So we can get some flooding. It does run right out into the next yard, but it can be a bit messy at times. We do get some flooding in the yard if our drainage doesn't work. Now we have really good drainage, so... Although lately that water's been getting pretty close to the house. I told my husband he has to make sure he goes out and checks all the drains today to make sure we are safe for the next huge round. Now that round is supposed to hit on Wednesday. You'll see this on Friday, so hopefully we're already done with the big rain. We're supposed to get like, I don't know, 3 to 5 inches. It's like, whoa. For our area, that's crazy. Other places are going to get 9, 10 inches. So it's going to be, you're going to probably read in the national news that California, you know, is having major flooding. And you would be right. Now, that is not going to fit in there. I'm going to need a bigger cutter if I want to trim those down, which I will do in just a minute. But I think before I do that, I may go ahead and stitch on them. Well, I'm thinking. Just let me think here for a minute. I hate to cut. I want to cut off. I'm going to cut off I think I'll cut off the vellum part. And then, let's see, what else would be dry? Do you think this is dry? Yeah, it seems pretty dry. Those last two are not. The one, they're not quite. They're still a little bit wet. Let me just cut the ends off this. I'll bring out Big Bertha. We'll cut the other, and then we'll make some envelopes, right? Or clutch purses, whatever you want to call them, clutch envelopes. Yeah. Seems to cut okay with the cutter, so that would mean or indicate that this is fairly dry. Wait, I need to clean underneath here. I think this comes off, doesn't it? I'm going to have to try because I notice it's really dirty under there. Yeesh. Apparently from cutting things with glue. Naughty, naughty. Like I'm doing here. All right. Now we are going to need Miss Big Bertha. She's going to have to come out and play with us today. I'll leave a little bit of the stuff on the side, but if I trim my stitching, then it will come undone, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to take a little off the sides. Just take a little off the sides, kind of like a haircut, right? Okay, so like that. Just a little. We can leave a little bit. Now, these are fun to stamp on if you've got words or something. This one I don't think I'll bother to keep. But that's pretty good. I can stamp on, excuse me, other hiccups. I can stamp on that. Let me take a little more off here. I want a little on this side. I don't want that much. Yeah, the itty bitties I'm not keeping. All right. Now these others, even though they're not dry everywhere else, I can do the side. I can take a little bit off the side here. That's tissue paper. I mean, not tissue. What do you call it? Tracing. The others are vellum. This one's vellum. Now this one's really crooked, so it's going to end up with a mess, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and do the ends since I've got the cutter out. Why bring out another cutter, right? Let's just do it. This is what you can tell. It's not cutting well. No, it's not going to cut. It is not going to cut. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll clean up these two ends on my other cutter. This one's pretty dull. It works good on some things, but not others. Bertha's very old. I've had her for 30 plus years. I think probably one of my first businesses I got it for, or I got it to do my mom thing when I was working as a class mom in the classroom. I probably needed it to cut like a bunch of stuff for the teacher, because it's the style that you would use in a, you know, to cut construction paper. I'm thinking that's what I see. That seems to cut okay with that. I want to cut these ends even because I'm going to stitch them in a minute, so I definitely need them to be nice and even on the end. There we go. I want the ends, the sides don't matter, but the ends do. There we go. No, that's not good enough. One more. One more. A little more. Ugh. Hold on. Okay. Now I have all my ends cut. My sides are trimmed up. And okay, so these two are still kind of drying. I'm going to put them back up on the counter. I mean, I can only sew a couple of these at a time anyway. It's not like I can make them all at once, right? And I can do them later and then show you guys or share with you, you know, what I did. I have all these napkins. Let me get these off the desk. Otherwise, I'm going to end up grabbing them by mistake. Whoopsie. Yeah. Oh, I keep getting my feet caught in my sewing machine. I hope I don't take a fall. Now, I went to get I like to use my pinking shears. These are old. Those are, gosh, I don't know if those are my mom's or mine, but I've had them forever. Now we're going to bring up the sewing machine. All right. So, now to make this the way we want, we have to decide. Let me move this aside for just a minute. Let me make sure this is all threaded. Oh, goodness. Yeah, no. And ready to go. Let's get our machine ready, because I can't believe I was working with my... Here, I'm going to fix my machine. Just let me do this real quick to make sure it's threaded correctly. There we go. Alrighty. So, let me get some scissors. And let me... Oh, you know, I never shared with you. My little granddaughter, my 5-year-old granddaughter, or she's 5 or 6 now? Oh, gosh, I've lost track of how old she is. 4, 5, 6? 6. She came to visit at Thanksgiving, as you know, and she had sewing lessons with me. She picked up on that so fast. I have to tell you, she's made a poncho for her doll. She's made pillows for her sister. I mean, she has just taken to sewing like duck to water, and I cannot wait to go out there in the next month or so. Next month, we're planning end of February, beginning of March, to go see them. So I am so excited. So anyway, okay, I'm going to move that for a minute. Okay, now, if I go like this, this is going to be upside down. So I'm going to put, this is my, let me see. Is this going to work? Yes. Oh, I wish we could see the Paris part of this, you know, and have it look like that, but we can't. There isn't a way to do it where it's right side up. No matter what I do, it's going to be upside down. So I guess we're going to do it this way. All right, so what we want to do is we want to find out which end is going to be here, right? So the first thing we're going to do then, let me double check my camera and see where I'm at. Okay, we're going to zigzag. I'm going to use about a middle stitch zigzag. I have small, medium, and large on this one, and teeny tiny. So I'm not going to use a large, but I'm going to stitch across this edge here. Now, if you don't do this right, you'll end up with puckers, and I may very well end up with a puckering anyway. Now, I am going a little away from the edge because I want to trim it with my scissors. Before I stitch this all together. Does that make sense to you? So I'm going to go cut that. Cut your threads. Neaten them up. No messy threads. All right, not for this project. So then with my pinking shears, I'm going to go along the edge close to the, being careful not to cut the zigzag. And sometimes I do cut it accidentally, but that's okay. If we do, we do, right? We just do our best. So there you have our edge. Let me stand up so you can see, right? You have the edge. Now, at this point, if you think to yourself, okay, I am going to ink it a little bit, then now is the time to do it. You want to do it early on because once you stitch this down, you cannot get in there again. So sometimes I will do the whole thing, sometimes I don't, or just grab a little edge, and that's all I'm going to do. So now I'm going to turn this up and figure out how big I can have, like a tiny little clutch with a taller top, which I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make them all different. Now, I did not Mod Podge this because it feels really good to me. It doesn't feel like it's going to come up. You don't have to. You can if you want. I'm not going to on these, okay? So then I'm going to bring this down and give myself, I could go all the way down. I could just go a little ways down, but it's going to give me a fairly deep envelope, which is great because you can put some bigger ephemera in it, right? So now I'm going to pick my top, and this is the time too where I decide, am I going to want to round my corners, which actually I can't because of the way I'm going to do this. I can't. Never mind. So let's get our top figured out before we go too far. How far do I want to come down? I mean, I could go all the way down to there if I wanted, right? I'm going to go about halfway down. So let's see, how deep did I make this? I made this 4.5 inches. So it would fit on a page if you want to put it on a page. So we've made it page size. So now, and we can go like this and like this. And how much time do we have? Oh, let me just check my time, you guys. I want to make sure I haven't run out of time. Oh, it's only 33. We got a little while. It's got about 20, 25 minutes. Okay, so then what I want to do is I'm going to hold this back up, right? So at this point, I'm going to start at the bottom. I don't know if you can see. So this is going to be like this, right? But I'm going to start down here. Remember I always talked about that? And we're going to go up and around and come down. We're going to try, because what happens a lot of times when we do this, oh, actually I changed my mind. I'm going to start here. I forgot. So I don't get a bubble. I'm going to start here and I'm going to go around and come up over and come back to where I started. Let's see if we get a pucker. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I know there's a trick and I can never remember what my trick is until I do it. And then I go, oh, whoops, I should have did this. Oh, guys, I have the shakes today. I just had lunch. Why do I have the shakes? Okay, so now I don't want this on the very edge because, again, I want to trim. So I'm going to take it off the edge of the page. I'm going to back stitch, and then I'm going to go forward. And I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch from the edge on the side. Now, I'm not trimming the bottom. Now, I could have just gone up, over, and down. But I decided to do it this way. There's a bunch of ways you can do this, you guys. There really are. So, remember we talked about leaving your needle down And then we turn it so we get that nice edge, okay? And this one we're going to sew right up to the very edge of the bottom. And we're going to leave that needle down. We're going to turn it, and we're going to stitch. Now, we could stop right here, or we can go all the way up, which on this one, we're going to go all the way up. And I put my fold in there so I know where my top, bottom, you know, the whole thing is. Now we're going to slow down when we get to the top here because we want to get that needle down. We want to turn and then go. And I'm leaving space for me to trim it with my pinking shears. If you don't have pinking shears and you don't need to leave the space, then you don't have to worry about it. You get as close as you would like. Go to the very edge if you want. Okay, so I want to keep that needle down. I'm going to turn. And it looks like I'm not going to get the gap, so we did it right. And I kind of went over the other stitching, went back a little bit, a stitch or two, and then we pull it out. It's a bit messy, but not horrific. I mean, we are making junk journal things, so it's not like it's got to be this beautiful, perfect thing. I'm not making these as clutch bags to sell, you know, as purses. So purse making is a whole different thing, which I have done. So, all right. So there you have your pretty envelope. Look at that. It's all stitched on. It's going nowhere. Even if you have little bubbles, it doesn't matter. But, oh, this feels so yummy. Oh, you guys. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pinking shears and I'm going to cut right along that edge, trying very carefully not to cut my stitching. But since my hands are shaky today, ooh, goodness. I think it's because I still haven't quite had enough sleep. I slept some last night, but the last few nights I didn't sleep, so I'm kind of still low on my sleep chart here. Sometimes it's easier to cut on this side where you can see your print, your napkin print. Now, is that not cute or what? Look how cute that is, you guys. Oh, and it feels, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's got that yummy feel. See, look at that. Gorgeous, right? And you can see through it. Isn't that cool? So whatever you put in there, you know, you want to put something pretty in there. You want to make sure you use a pretty tag or card. Let's see, what do I have? Ouch, I just popped my knee. This left knee's been popping like crazy lately. I'm surprised I'm not crippled yet. Okay, so if I wanted, I could use, excuse me. Like I said, that cough is not gone. I was looking to see if I could find some, like I could put a pretty little tag like this in there. See, isn't that pretty? Could fill that up with some beautiful little tags or whatever you want to, you know, you want to play with in there. I'll have to go, I have boxes and boxes of this kind of ephemera I need to go through, and I'm going to fill them up, and then I'm going to make things to go in there. But also, now I don't know if you want me to stitch one more just to show you. Maybe we could stitch this tracing paper one and see how it goes. And then we'll decorate. And then I'll finish the rest off camera, you know, so you can see. I guess this just has one thing that goes a certain way. So let's make this our top. And remember, we're going to start off the paper. Oh, gosh, I lost my thread. I didn't grab hold of it. I know better. I was talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay. I have a little bit of glue on my fingers from earlier, so I'm struggling with the thread because it keeps sticking to me. Hold on a sec. Remember our trick. We use our hand sanitizer to get rid of the glue on our fingertips. And then we are not dealing with sticky fingers, right? And then we won't have all the, everything sticking. Plus, this is an aloe vera one, which makes your hands feel really fabulous. So, all right. Oh, So what I was starting to say too earlier was I do want to, on this particular one, want to add some vintage photo. Because I want to vintage this up just a tiny bit. And then on the inside, is that just so pretty? It's just, oh, it's so yummy, you guys. I wish you could feel it. It's just yummy, yummy. And this is the vellum right here. It sounds good. It feels good. The napkin feels great. Now, one thing I will say about this napkin is, because we haven't Mod Podged, we can stamp on this. So if I wanted to add stamps or French words, or if I want to put something on the back, which I have a postcard stamp I might put on there. I don't know if I'm brave enough. Maybe I'll put it on a piece of paper and put it on. If you want to add things to the back with stitching, you can either stitch on the item and glue it on, or stitch it on before, or stitch it on before you fold it up and stitch all the way. I hope that made sense. I'm not sure. Sometimes I confuse myself. Okay, so I got that caught in there, which is a good thing. That end is not something I need to use. I notice there's some junk there. Okay. And I'm going slow because I'm going on vellum. And you can rip it. You can gum it up under your foot and make a humongous mess. If I were by myself, I'd probably go a lot quicker, but I really don't want to muck it up when we're together. See what happened? That got caught under the sewing machine, which is what I was saying. That can happen. And then again, I want to get my scissors out. These are old pinking shears that don't cut fabric anymore. They're too dull, but boy, are they fabulous on paper. So just FYI, I would not use any of my good pinking shears on this. No way. So not in this century. I haven't gone that far away from my sewing. So I do want to, now, are you? Yeah, you're seeing some stuff. You're seeing some stuff. Kind of do it at an angle. That way you could maybe see it a little more. All right, now we've decided this is our front. So I need to figure out where my bottom's gonna be. It's not like I don't already know. All right, we need to figure this out. If I'm talking too much, you guys, I'm gonna mess up royal. You watch. I will. If I get this close enough, I might be able to just match it up to what's there. Probably not. I wouldn't be that lucky, right? Oh, all right. So we want to make it, let's see. Oh, I made this one 5. So this would still fit in a journal, because most journals are 4.5 to 5 wide, unless you're doing a tall, narrow one, you know. So we're going to do what we did before. We're going to start here. We're going to go around. We're going to go up. We're going to go all the way and come back, okay? And we're going to start a little bit off the paper. We're going to leave ourselves a little scant 1/4 inch seam. We're going to go down to the bottom, and we're going to put the needle down. We're going to turn again. Remember that? We're going to go across the bottom. I left a little more on the bottom than I meant to for a seam, but that's okay. Usually I go closer to the edge, but it'll be consistent that way. Now you notice I'm ignoring this part. I'm going by the print of the paper. Okay, we're going to leave the needle down. We're going to turn, bring it back up. Now this is going to be tricky because I cannot see my paper at this point. It's underneath. Our needle down, turn, there we go. Now, if you remember, I taught you that little trick, and someone said, well, if your tension's right, you know, it's like not true, because the thing about paper and thread is it pokes holes differently than fabric and brings up the stitches. So I always just push everything down to make sure our stitches are nice and flat regardless. They're perfect, they look great, but I just want to make sure they're locked down nice and tight. All right, it doesn't hurt to go over your stitches with a firm, it could be a scissor you know, you can use whatever you want, right? I prefer this. There we go. Okay, so. I'm taking my time on purpose. I'm in no rush. I'm not fast crafting. I'm just having a good time, and I'm sharing what I'm doing in my studio with you today. Okay, keep that needle down, come around. I went a little too far. I could have gone a little less, but that's okay. I can sort of see the tissue through the this is tracing paper. Now, this sews a little bit different, I noticed. Not bad or good, just different. And I don't need any of these strings, so I'm going to cut them all off. There we go. I don't need that much either, so we're going to throw that away. Push that to the back so we're ready to go on the next one. Alrighty. Yeah, I got this corner down a little bit, but that's okay. It does not have to be perfect. They are just fun to do. So now I am going to cut again like I did before. I like the look of the zigzag. You do not have to use pinking shears. You absolutely do not. If you do not have a pair, don't worry about it. But if you find them, you know, like if you find them on eBay or online somewhere and they're used, get them. You're not going to use them on fabric. If you got grandma's old pinking shears or your mom's old pinking shears, you might ask her, hey, Mom, whatever happened to your old pinking shears or grandma's pinking shears or whatever, you know? You might ask, because instead of throwing them away, because they're really difficult to sharpen, they're almost impossible, you know, you can use them for your crafting. Is that not cool or what? I'm going to pick my machine up and put it on the floor and hopefully get that out of my feet way, out of the way of my feet. So, oh, hear that. Yummo. So I am just going to do a light distress. Just for a little bit of age, just because of what this looks like. Now, this would be really fun to decorate up. Both sides. I just think it's a fun paper. I didn't mean to get that much on there, but this tissue paper is taking the ink really well, almost too well. Yikes, I need to be careful. Did I get everything? It's hard to tell if I did it all. Like I said, that light is a little... Clouds are coming and going, getting ready for that massive storm we're going to have tomorrow, which is going to be Wednesday, California time. It would have already happened by the time you see this video. So keep your fingers crossed everything went well. Okay, so I want to see if I need to do any other trimming. I just refolded that a little bit. It wasn't quite right. That's a nice thing. You can do that, and it doesn't show and it doesn't hurt it. You just ink it some more, and it looks good. Isn't that awesome? And then now I'm going to just press down my stitches with my bone folder. It just puts everything nice and flat. My stitches look just fine. They're good. Except for right here, I've got a little bunch of thread I don't like. So what I'll do is I'll just pull those up and give them a little trim. There we go. Bingo. All set. Oh, you should feel this, you guys. Oh, if you could feel it, you would be like in heaven. Look at these. Are they not fabulous or what? So there you have it. How much time do we have? Do we have time to decorate that a little bit? Sure, we do. We do. If we don't, I would go. But it looks like we do. So I'm going to see. I'm going to grab my thread and see. My lace. Oh my gosh, I have so many pretty laces that would look fabulous on that. Everything I just pulled out would look good on there. Oh gosh, this is going to be tough. Tough. So, you know, we have this one. We have another one here. Oh, look at that. Isn't that going to be pretty? Look. Wait till you see that envelope all done. And then this one is pretty. This one's going to be another beautiful rose one, which I will decorate all up with laces and roses and things. And then we have this one, and this one's on the tracing paper. And this is a little more contemporary, which I did on purpose because I have some things I want to use with that. So those are ready to go. All right. Now, I don't know about that one, but this has a little bit of a yellow. I'm trying to decide what color. See how this looks. I love this lace. It's one of my new ones I just got. Oh, I already had a piece off for something and I didn't use it. I can go with the lace down that way, or I can go with the lace up. So you see more of what's there. I don't know. I like this one because it's very sheer and you can still see the roses underneath. And it's got roses on the lace. We also have this one. You know how much I love lace, you guys. I'm in heaven. Oh, this is what I love doing best. Ooh, I really like that one. I think it's going to be that one. I love this too. So this is really hard. Oh, but could I use it on this one? I'm wondering if it's too feminine for this. I think this particular writing one needs like a, let me see if I have one. Maybe a heavy lace or a embroidered lace. Like this is an embroidered lace. Like it's a heavier, it's not needle. No, I'm thinking of something totally different, and that is none of those. All right, so that's all right. Sometimes we can find it, and sometimes we can't, huh? Of course, you know I have a lot of lace, so I was thinking, oh yeah, like a heavy lace. Let me pull out some of those. I'll pull out some of those other ones for that one if we make it. I think we're only going to make this one, though. I think at the rate I'm going, because I'm fussing too much. Forgive me, I'm fussing today. I think I'm going to actually cut the ends with the pink. Oh, that actually cut. I was shocked. As much paper. Well, they were really good ones. I mean, these are, I think these are Singers. Oh, these are Compton, 7500. These are very, very old and very good. I think these are my grandma's scissors. My grandma Horn. Little Tessie. I think my little Grammy. All right. I'll put this away before I end up with a pin in my fingers or my feet. Okay, you guys. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to have to quit. But let me get this glued on, and then we'll... Oh, shoot, I forgot that. All right. We're going to use Fabri-Tac for this. I highly recommend the Fabri-Tac for this, so it will stick to the napkin. I don't think any of the other glues would do as well. I'm going to move it up just a little bit so you can still see the pinking. Let me... Okay. Then I'm going to go back and repink this because it's a little too long. And I'm kind of made it match the paper. Isn't that pretty? And then, you know, I could see doing a bunch of things. I could see a little lace snippet in the middle, or a jewel. I could see adding some real stamps and some stamps. I could see adding a satin ribbon through the middle of that. And, you know, adding some flowers on a corner. I might put a satin ribbon and then add some flowers over here. And just really doll it up. Just give it the work. So, you know, but I don't think I'll try to do that on this video. I just wanted you to see, you know, how to do these. And then in our next video, I can show you what I did with everything. I think that'll be really fun just to show you the finish on these. It's kind of a little, well, you got to watch the next video to see what happened. You know, it's like part 2 of the episode, but I'm not actually going to, you know, make them on the next part too, but you will get to see the finished work. I always show you on one video how you make it, then I do my finished work, and then and I decided this year that I wasn't going to do a lot of like multiples, but today I did, just because I really need them. They're for individual projects. They're, I mean, not projects, but you know, I really want to, I have things that I'm planning to do with them. They're not just random. Okay, I'm not just mass making to mass make. So there you have it. That is all of our pretties that we, oh, before we go, one more thing. Remember these little mini paper clips? Aren't these little note paper clips, aren't these adorable? Oh my gosh, I'll show them to you in my hand. You have to see them. They're so cute. Look how they came out. They ended up with lace and a little applique and a pearl. And then, you know, they have, I tied it with a cute little eyelash trim. And then I had a butterfly, one of my butterflies, and some pearls. So there they are. Those are those darling little paper clips that we finished in our last video on Wednesday. So there you have it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you'll come back and have a play with us again soon. I'm thinking Monday might be Merry Monday. I'm not real sure. Don't quote me on it. I'm going to look and see what project I need to work on, and if it fits, we will do a Merry Monday. Okay, you guys? So you have a fabulous, fabulous Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all very soon. I love you guys. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.